Hello friends, hello. I am Jay the Kobold, and I am just here to hang out today. No real actual plans, I'm just here to vibe. And I hope that you're here to vibe too, because then we can vibe together, and I think that'd be really fun. Hello Getty, hello Dragon Timothy, hello Jerry Edis, hello Dallas, hello Hensha, hello Tuzzy. You are all wonderful, and I appreciate all of you. I mostly just was going to have a day where I talk to people. Yeah, that's the plan. Nothing like specific or no goals or no, big ornate fancy pants intentionality. But yeah. I figured we could ask answer some questions, to see how people are doing. I have some news about the channel. Next week I have a vacation for the first time ever. I haven't had a vacation in several years, and the last vacation I went on was actually a work vacation, so it doesn't really count as a vacation, like a working vacation. Like, the last vacation I had was going to Vegas for a tech show, for a conference for work. Again, that doesn't really count as a vacation. That's not what vacations are like, I'm told. But this time, I am actually going to a location. Hope my vacation goes well. I do too, especially considering I just had a big unexpected expense, so that's fun. My model probably hates it when I have a sip of tea, but I made some tea because I wanted some tea for this stream, because I like tea. It's throat coat tea. If you're doing any sort of streaming or voice acting, throat coat tea is your best friend. Congratulations. You now understand what you need. Let's see here. You've heard of that tea? It's very, very good. Hello, Risky Reds. You feel better now that you've adjusted your med schedule, so you can actually stay up to what seems consistently past 8 o'clock? Getting up at 2 a.m. is not fun? You know what? It's important to find a sleep schedule that works for you, and that's not easy. Personally, I work best when I have a sleep schedule that lets me wake up whenever I want. And it's hard to find a job where that's, acceptable. But, yeah. I don't do well with alarms. It's not It's not like I don't wake up to alarms. It's not like I hear my alarm and I sleep through it. It's the other way around. It's if I wake up with an alarm, I'm waking up with anxiety. I don't like waking up with anxiety. It's not a pleasant feeling. So, I have a job that starts late enough that I can usually, not always, but usually not have to even set an alarm because I know I'll be awake in time to be able to get there and do things. Yeah, throat coat tea is delightful. Highly recommend it. It's also tasty. Like, I drink it more for medical reasons than for tastiness. But it also is tasty. Hello, Anamolufi. How are you doing today? Yes, I am going to America for my vacation, which will be fun. Oh, you have a disclaimer. Hello and welcome from Spain. Understood? Stay safe. Yeah, I'm a little worried, honestly, because last time I was in America, it was kind of scary. But, and this is not that far away, last time I was in America, I was in Chicago. Hello, Xander. And this time I'm going to Indiana, which is in that same area. But it should be fine. I'm going to be with a friend and my friend's family, so it should be good. Everything should be good. Weird thing is, though, I don't know what to do there. I don't know if there is anything to do there. There might not be anything to do there. But I think there's going to be some good hiking, at the very least. The US is where you had a car actively try to murder you in Death Proof style, correct? Which one was that? Wait. I've had multiple. Isn't that what Gen Con is? Maybe? I don't know. Yellow on the inside and black on the outside. An old banana. That's my answer. Old banana. So, I've had a couple of cars try to murder me. What is death proof? I don't know what that is. I have had a car try to run me off the road before when I was on my motorcycle. Just, they decided that I didn't deserve to live, so they just sort of, you know, hit me from the side. Well, they didn't actually make contact because I was able to get out of the way. They were actively trying to run me off the road and into a, I was gonna say railing, but that's not really quite correct. I guess it is a railing. Side rail? Rail thing? Yeah, you know what I mean. And I started to slow down, and they matched my speed, and that was like, oh, this is bad. If I slow down, they're gonna get in front of me, and I'm going to die. So instead, I just gunned it and just started going forward, and they tried to catch up. And they mostly did, but I managed to get into a place where there was more cars around. I was on my motorcycle, mind you. I was on my motorcycle, so any amount of, you know, running me off the road would have been lethal. But he didn't, so that's cool. No, last time I was in... That wasn't last time I was in America. That was actually local here. It was a pickup truck, obviously. I mean, it tried to murder me on the road. Obviously, it's a pickup truck. I think that goes without saying, but I feel like I should like say that anyways, just to make sure that we're all on the same page. If a vehicle is going to try to unalive you while you're on the road, it's usually a pickup truck. Anyways. Of course it was a truck, obviously. New sub. Well, congratulations for coming out. Oh, wait. Sorry. Hi. Should this be a Yin stream? This should be a Yin stream, shouldn't it? So we'll be going on this vacation. It's going to be to Indiana Dunes, whatever the heck that is. Apparently it's a desert, because dunes, but I don't know where the desert is. Because I thought the only American deserts were the ones in the far west. You know? Like... the Death Valley area. Is that outside of Las Vegas? Nevada. That's what I'm thinking of. Nevada. So, I don't know. Apparently there's another desert over here. So it should be fun. And I will be trying to get a couple of uploads finished on time. I need to work with my editor to see if they can actually be finished in time to actually upload while I'm gone, so there is still some content while I'm gone. That's the dream, that's the hope, that's the dream, that's the hope. Hello, Risu Kyoko. Yoroshiku. I am having a very nice day. Bah. So. I had a big expense the other day. I mentioned it on stream, but my well decided it was going to explode. My well for my house decided that it wasn't going to actually just pump any more water. I was in the middle of getting ready to go to a lasering appointment. Hello, Botlord! And halfway through, just like the water pressure drops down to 0. I'm like, huh, that's weird. Check some stuff in the house, and it's like, oh, all the water pressure's at 0, including the hoses outside. Oh, that's bad. So I go down to the place inside. I go down to the well inside the house. Like there's a wellhead, the pump, I think it is. Looks like a zombie apocalypse. And yeah, the well is just completely shot. So I call up the phone number that is on the well. I'm like, hey, can you come out and fix this? And I didn't do a lot of research. I did some research after I called them to see if they were good, you know, to like blah, blah, blah. But I didn't actually do any research before I called them, see? Because I called them thinking, this house is weird. The house I live in is very, very strange. There's a ton of just really weird designs that go in this house. Like, the electrical system is completely wonky. The half of the floorboards are not sealed down correctly. The entire southern face of the house, it has a bunch of floor-to-ceiling windows that I think are custom made. I have no idea what would happen if one of those gets exploded. The retaining walls are held together by hopes and dreams, and the retaining wall is the only thing keeping it from falling down the mountain. It's not great. I love this house. I adore it. It's beautiful. It's stunning. It's a wonderful house. But it's a very special kind of house. You know what I mean? Like, it's the kind of house where, it needs a delicate touch. Like, I've had to call several septic companies to come out and empty the septic tank, and many of them were like, we can't get to your septic field. We just can't get there with our equipment. I'm like, oh, that's bad. And so, like, yeah, we just had to find somebody who could actually get a truck down there so we could actually, like, get to where the field is, because the field is, like, partway down the mountain for some reason. It's on an incline on the mountain, which is a terrible place for it to be. And it's like, oh, I guess that's where it is. And so I call the people who have the name on the well, because that means that they're the ones who installed it, which means that they probably know how to service it. Well, they do. They did. That's good. I'm glad they did. But they found a whole bunch of stuff wrong with the installation. It was great. The installation was not done correctly. Unsurprisingly, the installation was not handled well. Apparently at one point it goes from, like, a 4-centimeter pipe down to a 2-centimeter pipe or something like that. Like, it like went from one sizing to another sizing in the middle of, like, the going to the house. It took the long way around a driveway instead of doing anything that a rational person would install it with. The actual pump inside the house is on the far side of the house. Like, from where the well is, the pump header is on the far side of the house for some reason. I don't know why. It's absolutely unhinged. I love the house, but the house makes no sense. The house makes no sense. None whatsoever. So they find it like, we can't fix any of the weird stuff. Most of it should be fine, but it's just kind of weird. And it's just like, you know what? Whatever. Just make it work. That's all I care about. Just make it work. And they're like, okay, so, pump's fried. What? The well pump is fried. It was installed in the 70s and has never been touched since then. And you don't really need to do maintenance on a well. You just kind of like leave it alone and it should be good forever. It wasn't good forever. So they're like, you need a new well pump, and we need to... I don't even remember all the stuff they did, but it ended up being like $4,000 worth of work. And ouch. Does that take more or less effort? Everything in this house is more effort. Everything in this house, top to bottom, is more effort. I mean, I am a landowner, which is, you know, the way the world is right now. I'll take that over the opposite, opposite. But at the same time, like, ouch. It's not without its issues, that's for sure. You had your well pump break at one point and you were left without running water for weeks. Oh my goodness! Yeah, this was only out for a couple days. It was not that bad. I was, you know, a little bit on the stinky side at that point, but I went out to the hot springs, and I was, you know, like, then I just turned around because like, okay, the hot springs is actually not a good place to go because I can't go home and rinse it off, because the hot springs are just like a natural hot spring. It's not exactly the cleanest water. It's comfortable, it's relaxing, it's beautiful. But if you're picturing like a Japanese onsen with, you know, rocks and macaque monkeys, you know, sitting in there, no. One side of the hot springs is basically a vertical wall that goes just straight upwards, and the other side is just a trail and a path down. It's just like a hole that has hot water in it. You can stretch out in it, and that's about it. You couldn't fit more than like 2 or 3 people in it, but So, because it's occasionally a bit sulfurous and I don't know exactly what's in it, it's like I usually come back to the house and shower off afterwards. So it's like, oh, I could go shower, I could go, wash myself at the hot springs. Wait a minute, that's not a good idea. And then he was like, okay, that's fine. And I kept on failing to recognize what I could do. I kept on being like, well, I'm just gonna have some water, and I'll be fine. No, wait, I can't have any water. That's right, I can't have any water. Okay, that's fine. I'll just make some tea. No, I can't make tea. Okay, never mind. No tea, no water. That makes sense. You need water for tea. So obviously, I just can't think about anything liquid. Well, I have some sodas, and I have some, like some iced tea downstairs. I'll have that. And then I'll just have some spaghetti with it. Okay, I'll make some spaghetti. That sounds perfect. I'll boil the water. No, wait, I don't have water to boil. And it's like this, I kept on mentally looping in things that I couldn't do because water is just such prevalency in your mind that it was difficult to recognize what I could actually do and not do. Does that make any sense? It was kind of weird. So... we have some more tea. Ah, delightful. So when I'm finishing Breath of the Wild or Tears of the Kingdom tomorrow. Tears of the Kingdom streams will be finishing up, and I don't know. We're skipping 90% of the plot, right? We never talked to Pura after we got the. Oh, with Florida being an apocalypse state, you have to be prepared. Yeah, that makes sense. If you're in Florida, then it's not really a choice. You have to be prepared for the worst. Yeah, I admit, I took water for granted. I admit it. Hello, Kamino. So, once we finish up Tears of the Kingdom, sorry to bother you when you say random things. No, that's fine. So, I will say this. Usually when I'm streaming, and you guys know this if you've been following me, usually when I'm streaming, I'm focused on the game and my commentary about the game. I'm less chat interactive on most streams, and that's by design. That's actually intentional. It's not that I don't read chat. I'm constantly looking at chat, and I am occasionally quipping about it. But by and large, when I'm streaming while playing a game, I'm thinking about the VOD. I'm thinking about not just the people who are here live, but also the people who are going to be watching it later, because something like 60 to 70% of my views come after I'm no longer live. True, that's just fact. Like this past couple weeks, I've been averaging like 9 to 13, somewhere in that range, low single digits of live views, and then the views are getting between 105, 116. 50, 70. I'm getting those views after the stream. And part of why that is because you don't have to be there, right? The thing with a Twitch stream is that if you're not there live, you're not getting as good experience. I meme that no one watches Twitch VODs, which is obviously wrong. People do. But there's a kernel of truth to that, in that people who are watching Twitch VODs are going into it differently. I want to make my streams more like a Let's Play, because that's the kind of stuff I watch. I watch, personally, Playframe, Pro Jared. I used to watch Game Grumps, though I don't really watch them much anymore. That type of commentary, that type of stream that you don't have to be there live for. And it works for me, I think. I think on the whole, it is good. It's fun, it's what I like doing, it's what I'm proud of doing. But I don't really talk as much to chat then. And that's why I have these chat streams where I'm just talking with chat the entire time, because it's fun, and you guys are wonderful, and I love you. I don't know. It's probably a bad idea. I talk about this every once in a while, but it's probably a bad idea that I do this. I don't know. I don't care. Why is my hand weird? My hand's weird? Okay? Okay. Some of you may have noticed I have new hands. They're not that new. I've had them for a hot minute, and you probably have already noticed them. The delightful Bold made these. They took the hyena hands and put them on the Kobold model because they just feel better in VR and actually track all of the fingers. They need some more work, but I'm not too worried about it right now. I'm pretty happy with my model overall. So we talked to Pura, who was one of the main NPCs in Tears of the Kingdom, once, we got a specialty thing, and then we never talked to her again. And I refuse to go back to her, even though I know there's more plot stuff. I want to do the plot stuff, I want to learn more about the world and the plot, but at this point, it's too funny not to. My hand is holding a teacup. It does look super weird right now. At this point, it's like, no, I'm just gonna go straight into the hecking final zones. It's gonna be fantastic. Alright, if anyone has any questions or thoughts or commentary, I'd love to hear it. I'd love to hear what you think about how I'm doing as a streamer and what I can do to improve, what you like, what you don't like. I don't know, I just need more information. Have I picked out what games I'll be playing after the vacation? Yes! Yes, I have. You realize you also completely ignored her after a couple hours of gameplay? Yeah, right? I did it by intentionally because I was mad at her because I didn't like the intro tutorial. But I never talked to Impa, who was someone who directed me towards, like, nah. I never talked to... I don't know. I got Mineru, and she's, like, as my second sage, and she's my favorite character in the game. And I'm actually mad about it. I'll get to what games I'll play afterwards. Let me just gush about Tears of the Kingdom for just a moment, though, because I'm going to write a full video essay on this. I'm going to do, like, a full YouTuber video essay on this. But I'm mad at how Mineru is ignored by everybody. Everyone ignores Mineru. And it really kind of pisses me off, because Mineru, if you don't know, I mean, I can probably put a picture of her on screen if you give me half a moment. Mineru is not really a spoiler, her existence at least, but she is one of the characters in Tears of the Kingdom who I guess is a secret? Is that considered a secret character? I don't know. But she's from an ancient time. She's from an ancient time before the world... Why is this not... Okay, whatever. Ah, it's way too big. And no one talks about her. She's from an ancient time, and I have literally had people tell me, gosh, I wonder what this ancient text says. If only we had somebody who could translate it. I wonder what these old inventions were used for. And I'm just sitting there like, hey, Mineru, what was this used for? Do you know? Can you like just tell us what this thing was? And they're completely ignored. Completely ignored. And it's just like, but we have somebody who could read it. But we have somebody who was alive in that time and can just say hi. Wait, she translates? No, she doesn't. And I don't know why, because I don't know how to translate stuff. And it's like, oh, here's some weird text. Yeah, it's some weird text. Mineru, what's it say? You're right here. Help me out. Help me out, girl. Help me, please. Hello, Shooty McShootface. Anyways, I'm going to write an entire essay about that, because there's several NPCs who say things that assume that you don't know who Mineru is, and it kind of frustrates me. It's like, yeah, like aforementioned, translation, like, plus, characters who are like, oh, one of the ancient legendary Koga's questline. Oh, one of the ancient legendary golems. It's like, I have a golem right here. Do you want to meet her? Her name's Mineru. Does your golem have a soul? If your golem has a soul, maybe they want to hook up with my golem. They might be friends. But like, no, there's no commentary about it. Like, Koga's like, you'll never believe this golem thing that I found. It's like, I just had a golem punch you. You just got punched by a golem. How would I not believe it? It's the most obvious thing, because you got punched by it. I think I've heard of them. And yes, Mineru is a mech pilot. That counts. The archaeological side mission was the most compelling to you as a Oh, you're a linguist? Nice. But yeah, it's oversight, but it's so weird oversight, and I don't believe that the devs thought that people wouldn't just go to random places. Because that was the core design philosophy of Breath of the Wild. Breath of the Wild was based on the idea. I would actually go in full on and say this. Breath of the Wild is literally based on the idea of people going... Oh no, I got booped. wherever they want, and making their own game. And while Tears of the Kingdom has a lot of that, A, it doesn't at the start. B, the entirety of the exploration is weird because the player has already experienced the world. Like, you know where most of the stuff is, which I don't love. I kind of wish they did more rewriting of the landscape. And 3, this. Anyways, I'm gonna do a full video on that at some point. Probably after I get back from my vacation. Maybe. I don't know. Possibly. Maybe. I don't know. But when I get back, I'll be starting 2 new games. I'm also going to be starting a new tabletop game. Oh, I love exploring the depths. The depths are my home. The depths just feel so good. First off, I'm going to be playing in a new tabletop game. I'm going to be playing a character named Eddy, E-D-D-Y, who is a water genasi in a game that is hosted by none other than the delightful Liv the Cyberdoll. There's Eddy. Because Eddy's is a water thing with currents, and she's a water genasi and a pirate. Look, it's funny. Just accept that it's funny. Just believe me when I tell you it's funny. I promise you. I promise you it's funny. Anyways. So that's going to be a fun game. I can tell you more about that character if you are interested. That's going to be on the Monday that I come back, actually. And then... Actually, I should pin this. Boink. Boink. And then I'm going to be starting Titanfall 2. I've long since been asking for a game that had good shooting mechanics, kind of like Valorant or Counter-Strike. Like that really weighty shooting mechanics, not run and gun, and not the shimmy about that you have in Call of Duty games or Modern Warfare games. I like the heavy crunch of having to sit down and actually take a moment to take a knee to line up a shot. And I like that, and I'm like, I want a game like that with a campaign, because I don't really like playing multiplayer games. I don't like... It's about the win rate. It's about the win rate for me. I don't love the idea of having a game that leaves me at 50-50 win rate. And that's the goal of any multiplayer game, you know? If you are at where you should be in terms of progression, in terms of competition, you're going to have a 50% win rate. Because you're going to be facing up against people who are of equal skill, and you'll be winning half the time, because the other half the time, your opponents win. I'd rather play a single-player campaign game, and... yeah. So I was like, what's a good shooter with a genuinely honest-to-goodness, solid, long-term campaign? You know, like, long campaign. And that's what was recommended to me. That's what was suggested, and it's like, okay, I'm in, I'll try it. Yeah, cool. Plus, we haven't done a shooter on the channel in a hot minute. I know it's good. I know it's supposed to be excellent. And then in the other slot... So, first of all, there's going to be a lot slower pacing in the RPG slot, because the RPG slot is going to be taken up by both the new game with Eddy, who's still on screen here, and the... my own DMing game, which has the wonderful group of people in it. Lovely people, all of them. I love them. With all my heart. So the RPG slot is going to be very interspersed, but it is going to be Earthbound. I've never played Earthbound. Again, it's like Chrono Trigger. Every time someone says, Jade, I can't believe you haven't played the Mother series. That you love SNES era RPGs, JRPGs, like that's your bread and butter. That's what you do. How have you not played this? And my answer is the same as with Chrono Trigger. Every time I picked up the game, I just set it down and started playing Final Fantasy VI again. Because I love Final Fantasy VI, and it's my favorite game of all time. And I just ended up not playing the other games. I missed out on a bunch of them. Played Mario RPG, though. That was pretty good. So it's going to be Earthbound, but it's going to be more separated out in between these other RPG days. And I want to do more of these kind of streams, just chat streams. Brr. And yeah. Definitely shoot out any other questions you have. Well, let me check on one thing here. Hataba hataba ha. There we go. Had to reconnect my hands. Maybe they work better now. Maybe not. I don't know. Sealed into sleep. True. So, would you like to hear the story of Eddie? Because it's fun and I like it and I'm proud of it. I told it on the Discord the other day. By the way, if you're not on the Discord, you ought be. It's fun. Wait, what did I update the description for the stream now that I think about it? Probably didn't. Let's see. No, yeah, that's correct. Has a Discord link. Whatever. Discord is where my most active social media, though I did just start Blue Sky. I did just start Jade the Kobold on Blue Sky Social, so that's neat. So, Eddie. Eddie was a smuggler, and here's her backstory, if you are interested in hearing it, and I hope you are, because you already said you are, so, you know, I'm holding you to that. Okay, anyways. Eddie hated her job. Counting number was... Wait, I need more tea. And I need water to wash down the tea. Eddie hated her job. Counting numbers was fine and all, but the longer she did it, the more paychecks she saw across her desk that were higher than hers. And she noticed a trend. All the Crown sailors had meager pay, and she expected that, but there were a lot of non-Crown sailors who consistently came in with solid investments. You know, she always thought of pirates as ragged, live-by-day scoundrels who spent their coin every time they were in port, but, well, the numbers and the collars that walked in the door told a different story. After dealing with a particularly troublesome noble's son, she quit her job on the spot and walked down to the piers. She was going to apply for the position of bosun. Not straight away, mind you. There was a week of research and studying and learning how the trade worked, but she knew the pay would be solid. She started drinking closer to the docks. Not in the docks themselves, mind you, those bars were way too rowdy. But she picked a nice spot where the smarter and wealthier crews fancied to go with their captains. A little bit of elbow rubbing and some hints that she was looking for a place, and she bought her way onto the St. Lenny. She quickly became very good at her job. She handled ropes, anchors, and colors for several voyages. And, well, she thought she had finally settled into a good place. She stayed on here for months, and then months spread into years, and the years passed calmly. The ship's cargo was extrajudicial, sure, but that just meant that the pay was better. And unlike the rest of the crew, she knew that she could jump into the water and swim forever if things went sideways on deck. Which, unfortunately, is what came to pass. 6 years into her new life, she had settled in nicely, and the pirate ship was a simple smuggling vessel. And yet, it got attacked by another pirate ship. Rather than give up their cargo, the captain tried to reason with the other vessel, explaining that they were kin and kind, and this would go against several of the pirate treaties. The other captain rejected the idea of smugglers as real pirates, and her captain stood up for himself, and for his crew. And then things got messy. Eddie gave decently for the fight, but was getting tired and knew she couldn't go on partway through the melee. She took a bolt to the shoulder and tumbled into the water. She swam below the surface for an hour to see how the winds blew above deck, but it was clear which side was more used to armed conflict. She swam inland to lie low for a week before finding a new crew to hold with. Eddie has some meager savings in what passes for a central bank of the world. She has some contacts with pirate captains and reputable captains who wouldn't besmirch their names, but occasionally lost some boxes overboard, quote-unquote, to supplement their pay. She has some contacts in nobility in a decent port town, but also some negative contacts in the same vein. She's skilled in unarmed combat and is respectably strong, with a quick wit and a quicker sass. That's Eddie, and I like this character. This character is going to be a lot of fun to play. Because she's a pirate, and I think that kind of... It's a pirate, but it's not the Yarmy mateys sort of pirate. Like, it's not going to be the cliche pirate. It's not going to be what you think of when you hear the word pirate, you know? And I think that's important to me. You know, it's I don't like playing cliches. I like playing interesting characters with depth. And this character has depth because they are a pirate, but at the end of the day, their first job is as an accountant, right? They're not going to be swashbuckling. They're going to be, you know, doing risk-benefit analysis. And working with the DM, we determined what was often smuggled. You see, we decided that moving body parts from any sentient species, any intelligent race, selling body parts is illegal. Which includes dragons, and there's a really big market for dragon scales and claws and teeth. That includes Sahagin, but the Sahagin will sell their own scales for use in jewelry. That includes anybody who needs necromantic bones for research purposes, which is a valid field of study despite the fact that you can't actually buy any of this research ingredients on your own. There's a lot of people who want to buy body parts, and the movement of any body parts is considered illegal, and that's where her role comes in. Not in actually acquiring them, where they come from is entirely not up to her, but that was what she smuggled for several years. It was, you know, dragon fangs, Sahagin jewelry, and all manner of, you know, beautiful things. And grisly things, both in kind. And, yeah, as a smuggler rather than a pirate, I think that she's going to bring a much different energy to the party than people would expect a pirate to bring. It's like, yeah, she can sail. She knows how to you know, manage a deck and manage and crew it, and she knows how to smuggle and how to avoid authority. But she's not a thief. She's not a rogue. She's not, you know, a fighter who's on the front lines in the battlefield. No, she's a tavern brawler. Technically, she's a monk, but not in the sense of being a monk that is, but not in the sense that she is a, you know, ascetic who studied for all of her life. No. She's a monk in the sense that she knows how to fight unarmed. She's a monk in the sense that she can just punch people. And that's what she's good at. It's going to be a fun character, and I'm really looking forward to playing it. Monk BA? Monkba. Monkaba. Monkaba? A BA in monk? That's a 4-year degree in monk, right? Yes, that sounds right. Anyways, that's Eddie. So that's going to be starting a week from this coming Monday. Yeah. And then I was going back and forth between Earthbound and Triangle Strategy, because I never actually played Final Fantasy Tactics. You've heard of Muscle Wizard, now look out for Brain Monk. Yeah, heck yeah. That sounds amazing. I love it. Isn't there actually an int-focused path for Barbarian? I think there is. I don't know. If there's not, there should be. If there's not, there ought to be. That's what I'm saying there. But yeah, Triangle Strategy is probably going to be the next RPG and the next action game. I don't know. I wanted to do Deathloop, but no one cared. Like, real talk. I loved playing all the Dishonored games on the channel. They were great games, and I love stealth games, and I approaching them as puzzles and solving them, and having actually, you know, the commentary while I'm playing through these stealth games was really fun, and I think I did good commentary on it for, you know, what is a relatively slower paced game. But I really, especially at the end, nobody was watching it. I wasn't getting live views, and I wasn't getting as many views after live either. It's like, oh, okay, I guess people don't care about this. So, well, the next game was going to be Deathloop, which is the more action-focused installment in the Dishonored series. I've just decided I might play that on my own at some point, because it seems to be that people don't want to watch it, and that's okay. I mean, it's perfectly fine. I want to make the content that people want to watch, but I thought that was going to do better. And that's on me, you know, that's a skill issue on my part. Why are my hands exploding? That's a skill issue on my part, you know, that's on me. I was hoping to start Witcher 3 at some point and Final Fantasy 9. I still have Sekiro to play, though I might end up playing that with Sprig. It's a wonderful story. Aw, thank you. I'm proud of it. I think it's going to be a fun character. And I want to go through more of the Breath of Fire series, because the Breath of Fire series was, I enjoyed Breath of Fire 1, and I think continuing that as a series would be a good idea to see how it advances and develops over time, you know? See how the series improves and adjusts. Whenever I start a new series, I tend to like to start at the beginning. When Dark Souls was popular, when Dark Souls was all the rage, I was like, oh, great, I'm gonna buy the popular game after I play its predecessor, and then I went and played Demon Souls. That just how I went about it. Like, a lot of series I went that way. It's like, oh, Warcraft 3 is out, cool. Let me go pick up Warcraft 1 and start there, and then play through the series of it. You know? Oh, Dishonored 2, I should play that. Let me go play Dishonored 1 first. And it's just how I approach games. I like to see how a studio changes their games over time and improves and learns from their mistakes or changes their focus. It's just a fun way of playing. Sniper Elite was another series that did that with. That's actually one of my favorite series of games that I just don't stream because I don't think people would really care to watch it, honestly. Sniper Elite and Sniper Ghost Warrior. I love sniping games. They're cathartic, they're relaxing, they're fun. They fill my heart with joy. Anyways, so yeah, starting Breath of Fire with Breath of Fire 1. Breath of Fire 1 was not the best game. Let's be honest here. Breath of Fire 1 was pretty rough. Really bare bones story and simplistic characters and not a lot going on overall. But I was glad to do it. It was fun and I enjoyed it. And yeah, I want to do more of it. So, but first we're going to do Earthbound, and then probably Triangle Strategy after that for RPG slot. As far as the action slot, and then probably Final Fantasy 9 if nothing else big comes out in between then. Breath of Fire 1 and 2 did not age terribly well because of bugs, plot holes, and broken game balance. I agree. Mostly it's the boring combat loop, you know? It wasn't until later games where the basic combat loop of what you do on any given turn was made more interesting in the Final Fantasy series, let alone in other JRPGs of the era. There were some that really did fantastic work with it. Mario RPG is a good one, and of course Final Fantasy 5 and 6 are exquisite in that regard. But even like Final Fantasy 4 and a lot of the other classic JRPGs in that time, it really were just, you know, hold down the A button until you win. Final Fantasy fixed that heavily. And then other games took off that idea, or had different combat styles, like Final Fantasy Tactics, which again, I've never played. I've always respected it, I've always loved it, I love XCOM, but I never played Final Fantasy Tactics. So, Triangle Strategy was going to fill that role for me. And I will play that at some point in the near future. Final Fantasy IX also does have a remake that was done. Not like a full remake, I guess, but a remaster, I guess is the proper term for it. I also kind of need to stick to games that I already have in my Steam library because of aforementioned well issues. So, yeah. Magic was non-existent in Breath of Fire 1 and 2 because it was flat damage compared to melee. Yeah, it really was. Which was a shame, you know? But at least... And even, like, the main character's like, oh, I can transform into a dragon. There was no choices. That was the problem, is that there was no choice. Like, what dragon should I transform into? Should I choose the one that has AoE damage, or the one that has higher spike damage, or the one that is more defensive and can take hits for allies, you know, if they're at low health? No, they're all the same. It's all the same, just some of them do more damage. They just weren't interesting, which is the biggest problem a game can have. It's better to be bad than uninteresting. I strongly believe that. it's much better to play a game that is bad than one that is boring. And frankly, I like playing bad games. Playing games that are not quote-unquote... Playing games that don't meet the traditional definition of good is something that I enjoy. Because a lot of indie games fall into that category, you know? It's like, is it good? A little kinda, it's a bit weird, but whatever. But is it engaging and is it interesting? That's all that matters, you know? Hello, Liv! Even garbage is fun to a raccoon. Liv, I was just talking about my character for your game. I'm excited for it. Breath of Fire 3 fixed a ton of the problems from 1 and 2. Nice! I do want to get to it. Earthbound first, because frankly, I need the viewership. But also, frankly, I think that Earthbound is one of those games I've always been meaning to play. I've always been meaning to get around to. That I've always wanted to pick up and just never did. One you fell recently in love with was Fabledom. Oh, it's an early access city builder. You know, I also have a tough situation with city builders, or no, with early access and city builders. I like Civilization as a city builder. It's not really a city builder, I know. It's not quite that, but Civilization I enjoy. But a lot of the other 4X games I tend not to get into. But as far as early access games, I like to play a game that's complete, because otherwise my first impressions of the game are going to be tainted by playing a game that isn't done yet. And if I'm playing a game that isn't done yet, then I'm not going to have as good a time as if the game is done, right? And if I'm not having as good a time, and my first impressions of the game are a game that is not in as good a stage, I guess, a level of development. If I'm playing games that are not as in a good place, I guess, as what I want to play, then I might not come back to it when it's done. It might be the game I want to play, and then I'm not going to be enjoying it as much because of my experiences through early access. I will fund things in early access. I will actually pay for things and buy them in early access, but I won't play them until they're done, until they launch. And then I jump on it and be like, okay, hecking yeah, let's go. I have Humankind? I forgot that I bought that. Huh. I am not planning on streaming Baldur's Gate 3. That might be a dumb idea, but it's sort of based on the reception of Tears of the Kingdom. It's a very popular game that everybody is streaming, right? Everyone was streaming Tears of the Kingdom, and I got shuffled into the mix. I didn't have as many people actually caring about my playthrough of it. And some people who didn't watch it because they knew they were going to play the game later and didn't want spoilers, and other people who didn't watch it because, well, frankly, there were other creators who they wanted to follow that were streaming it, and I respect that. I do, you know. If you want to watch, like, you know, Gura or, you know, like, one of the big names stream it, I get that. So, I don't think I'm going to do Baldur's Gate 3 for that reason. Whereas Earthbound is going to be more into the niche that I want. Whereas Titanfall, I don't know how many people are going to be there. I will say time slots are something I'm not too worried about, Whiskey, because, like I said earlier, most of my view count comes from after the stream is over. The majority of my view count comes after I'm done live streaming and people who are watching me as VODs. So, yeah. I would love to stream during the day, but, you know, I have to go out in capitalism during the day to pay for my wells. My crippling addiction to having running water in this house. Yeah, I mean, like, I would stream during the morning, but I have, like, this weird thing where, like, paying my bills, you know? Like, it's weird, but I'm into it, you know? Yeah. So, yeah, I honestly would stream earlier, and I would put out a lot more edited content if it wasn't for... if I had unlimited time. If I could do this full-time, and I can't. I won't be able to do this full-time until... well, until I have enough followers to justify it, you know? And you can help that today by putting in $5 a month, you know, 1 cup of coffee a month over to donating to me at Ko-fi. Gets me... if every one of my followers did that, I could do this full-time. I don't expect that. You don't have to. Don't feel like I'm, you know, like, oh, please save me. No, you don't have to do that. But, like, someday, maybe, I'm going to keep on doing this until it happens because, frankly, I love it. I love this. This fills my heart with happiness. You fill my heart with happiness. Like, genuinely. You will drop $100 dues? No! You need money, too. You need a will as well. You need... well. Meow, 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 meow. I might also drop in a couple of one-shots in here, especially with Liv's game soaking up a lot of time. I might drop in, like, I don't know, a short hike or Miasma Cave or, like, something else that would just be a pick-up play and then set down. You need money to live with rent-free? Nice. I have a mortgage. I need to set up that. How do I set up that? Maybe I'll set up that someday. Was that too? Was this a thing? Did I set that up already? Where's my cursor? Oh wait, that was that thing. Hi, how's it going? When it comes to RPGs, some arcade-style games might also be good. I'm inclined to agree with that, except that I usually tend to like story-based experiences, and frankly, arcade games aren't story-based experiences, right? One of the big things that compels me about video games is playing a story, is playing a book, is experiencing a novel through gameplay. And with that, well, that doesn't really lend itself towards arcade stuff as much. Maybe I will do some, though, if it's fun. When it comes to RPGs, what kind of stat balance do you like? Are you a fan of speed meta or resistance meta? Depends what kind of RPG. I guess that's the first thing. Because if you're talking like, you know, Final Fantasy VI or whatever, I usually just go and play it however seems fun. Like, at the time, and don't really necessarily think too far ahead, right? I think about the moment, and I think about what would be fun to do in that moment. Rather than specifically driving for a angle on there. You know a number of amazing RPGs on the GameCube, which doesn't have any RPGs on it? I mean... Quest 64, let's go! I don't... The thing with the GameCube is, though, is I don't have one. You know? Like, I don't have a GameCube. I have actually the adapter to stream GameCube games. I actually have the adapter to output it to HDMI, but I don't own a GameCube, and that's part of the problem there, you know? I generally like to have the games that I stream. With very, very few exceptions. I like to own and have the games that I stream. Do I own a Wii? I do own a Wii, yes. You know that Smash TV had a resistance meta? Oh. I know you mean Shin Megami Tensei 5. I'm sorry, but I see SMTV and I think my brain went to the NES game, Smash TV. Mother will be one of the only games... No, wait, that's actually on the Virtual Console right now. But, yeah, that was going to be a game that I didn't have access to, which is going to be a bar and me streaming it. Harr. Yeah. But yeah. as far as other channel plans, I'm gonna keep on. I need to do more TikToks. I like making TikToks and YouTube Shorts as a result because YouTube and Shorts and TikToks are the same thing. I enjoy making them. I just need to find time. I've had so many things explode in the past couple weeks. The game that had a stat balance was Sunny, where there was an active time battle controlling effects. Oh, sounds interesting. If I could stream anything anything I wanted, I don't know, what would I do? I honestly, most of what I do is because I want to stream it. What other things do I have in my library? I do also stream occasionally on the Discord. I've been doing some of the Tears of the Kingdom streams there, just for fun. Ni no Kuni. I actually have Ni no Kuni. I didn't finish it, though. It's 10 years old and it's more than the sum of its parts. I actually do... You know, I have the game, and I think you're probably right that it takes 20 hours to get going, though. Because I started playing it, and I played probably a good 10 hours of it, and then I put it down and never came back to it. Beautiful graphics. Stunning graphics. Storyline was... okay. Gameplay was pretty boring. I could see it getting better, though. Final Fantasy VI is surprisingly very well balanced stat-wise. It really is. It's a phenomenal game. One of the best games. Genuinely, I'm still going to say it's the best game of all time. Final Fantasy VI is the best game of all time, and I don't even think that's that hot of a take. Well, by the way, you should like the video or something. It's down there. Yeah, hit the button. The button makes me happy. Hit all the buttons! There's a bunch of other games that I want to figure out how to stream, right? Like, I want to stream some VR games, but I don't know if I can stream them in a way that would work, frankly. But, like, I'd love to stream... If I stream Skyrim, I'm going to want to stream Skyrim VR. If I'm going to stream Skyrim VR, I'm going to want to stream it with some weird mods installed, like the ones that let you go to Cyrodiil or something, you know? Half-Life Alyx is... Yeah, Half-Life Alyx and Half-Life 2, for that matter, I think would be a fun game to stream on in VR. I don't know how, though, because I would want you guys to see my model. I know there's a way of doing it because I've seen people do it, but it might just be a Beat Saber thing. But, like, I want you guys to see my model in the world and have me, like, you know, reach out and do stuff and have you see it in third person. But I don't know how to do that with camera setting stuff. Because I know there's ways of doing it, but I have no idea how to actually do it. But I know it can be done, but I know that I don't know how it can be done. Oh yeah, there's also, what was it? Octopath Traveler 2? I loved Octopath Traveler. So playing another one of those would be a delight. But, right, again, I need to play a few... I need to go a month or two playing games that I already own for money reasons. I'm glad I got to stream Illusion of Gaia. I'm glad that people enjoyed Illusion of Gaia. That actually means the world to me. Because that's the kind of thing that I want to do. Like, I want to be the one here who streams Illusion of Gaia. And everybody goes, what the heck is this? I have never heard of this strange game before. And then they watch me stream it and they actually fall in love with it because it's an interesting and dynamic game. And I like that. I want to get to the... My goal as a streamer is to get to the point where I can stream anything and people will still show up because they know that if I'm streaming it, it's going to be interesting. So I can just whirlwind slam, you know, with something weird. Enigmatis, which I still do want to stream. I'm probably going to stream that in October. So I can just whirlwind slam Enigmatis and be like, people will be like, what the heck is this? Well, Jade's streaming it, so it's going to be interesting. And then click on. My definition of success is that happening. My definition of becoming a successful streamer is to be able to just whirlwind slam, like, I don't know, what's another more obscure, it's a really obscure game that I love. I guess Tunic would fall into that situation, and people did like Tunic. It's not that obscure, but it's still... Also Soldiers, which you know, hopefully, that'll have another episode while I'm out on vacation. That, we'll see. I don't know if that's going to happen, but it'd be cool if it did, you know? What's some other weird stuff? Oh yeah, I'm gonna reveal a thing that I was going to stream. It's called Kaichu, and I was gonna stream that with Mossy. And I'm still planning on doing that. I think it's gonna be a delight. I should reach out to them and be like, yo, we doing this? Week after next? Tuesday? Let's go. Let's dance. Tunic is still your favorite. Yep, Kaichu. It's a kaiju dating simulator. Yep, it's a kaiju dating sim. You play as a giant monster, and you smooch other giant monsters. It's gonna be amazing. It's gonna be one of the best games of all time. I cannot wait. I'm gonna actually reach out to Mossy and be like, hey. There, I've done it. Certainly sounds like a show. Yeah, it's gonna be a weird stream. It's gonna be a weird stream, and let's be honest. Like I said, weird streams, I love it. But yeah, like imagine me just whirlwind slamming, you know, Kaichu, right? Imagine me, if I just sit down and start streaming, like, I don't know. Like, when I started screaming at Inscription, how many people were like, Inscription? What the heck is this? And then ended up absolutely falling in love with the game while I was playing it. With, you know, Kennedy Phillips on voice acting, with an amazing gameplay, and a fantastic game that keeps on surprising you with how it, with the weird stuff that it does. Like, it just seems like a good thing, I guess, is what I'm saying. I like streaming. It makes me happy. Any questions? Give questions. Ask me questions. I'm here for questions. Q&A. Q&A me up. I will answer all of your dreams. I cannot actually promise to answer all of your dreams, but I will answer several of your dreams. Several of your dreams I will answer. I can offer that much at least. Also, Baldur's Gate's a game that I'm probably going to be playing with one of my friends offline. Also, I've heard that it has some not safe for work content in it as well, so it's like I don't want to risk that on the channel. You know, I'm wholesome. I'm a wholesome streamer. I don't do the whole Vtuber thing. I know I'd get like 1 billion views if I did, but like, it's just not what I enjoy making. Oh yeah, Noita, I forgot. I was gonna reach out to Hempuli about that. I know the guy who made it, and he's awesome. And I was gonna reach out to Hempuli and be like, hey, would you like to come on my channel and talk about Noita, you know, with it? And I didn't do that just because I haven't really been as active talking to him lately. But yeah, it's a game that I would like to play. I haven't played it yet. I'm still blind on it. I probably should just sit down and play it for a bit and just do a run while live as opposed to hello Tengutier, welcome, it's good to see you again. Noita is the ethical superior wizard game. I mean, yeah, it's made by Hempuli. It's great. Oh, Baldur's Gate 3 can turn off nudity? Okay, that's good to know. That's good to know. Are there any indie games I'd like to play on stream? Other than ones we've been mentioning, obviously. The Pathless I would like to play on stream. I have been playing a lot of indie games on stream, frankly. Soldiers is going to be getting more episodes. Yeah, Soldiers is going to be getting some more episodes in the future. Brrr. As far as other indie games, I mean, is Enigmatis an indie game? I don't even think it is, honestly. Enigmatis is, I mean, it's made by hacking Artifex Mundi. Artifex Mundi is not an indie dev anymore, is it? Like, they're kind of big, but no one's ever heard of him. No one's ever heard of Artifex Mundi, which is a shame. I'll be playing it this in October, and yeah, Divinity: Original Sin, a fantastic game. I've already played it. I love it, and if I played, I have to collab with someone, and I would have to find someone to collab with to play. Not opposed to it. It would require the correct collab partner, though. You know what I'm saying? But it would be a good game to play. Thoughts on the old Neverwinter Nights game? I never really got into it. I owned it at the time, though it was like, I don't think I owned it on Steam because I don't think it was like a... Yeah, I don't think I have it, it was on Steam at the time. I remember playing it for a little while, getting bored and walking away because it was just a little bit too Western RPG when I played it, and I was looking for more Eastern RPGs at the time. Though since then I've played a lot more Western RPGs and some excellent ones at that, you know, but the Western RPGs that I really enjoyed around the time for playing when it came out was more of like Fallout style things. Did I play Spec Ops? Yes, fantastic game. I've actually talked about it on Game Dev streams quite a bit. It's a fantastic game. Spec Ops: The Line, outstanding game. But Neverwinter Nights is... I could go back and play those, honestly, now that I would be a lot more enjoyable about them, or the Pathfinder games for that matter. Rogue Trader, I'm less into the 40k universe than I am into the Warhammer Fantasy, and even then I'm not really big on Warhammer in general. I wish War Machine had more games, but there's only one War Machine game, and it's terrible, so that's too bad. War Machine is a good system, War Machine is a good design, and War Machine is a really interesting universe. I genuinely think that War Machine is a better crafted universe than any of the generic, edgy Warhammer things that keep on coming out. So, but unfortunately, outside of the tabletop space, they don't really have anything because it's a smaller game by scale. I haven't actually played the tabletop version of that for a long, long time. I still have all my minis. I just like walk into the game store, you know. Just right now, I could walk into the game store and no one would recognize me because I haven't played it since I identified as more mask/non-binary. So I could just walk into the game store and be like, you know, slam down a bunch of minis, and people are like, "Oh, hey, I recognize those models." I think I know who you bought those models from. It's like, ha ha ha, I made those. The expansions are marginally better for Neverwinter Nights, but it still suffers from the balance problems of trying to fit D&D 3.0 into a... Yeah, and D&D 3.x is not terribly great. I don't love D&D 3.5 or 4 or 3.0. 4th edition is fantastic. 5th edition is good, but a step backwards from 4th edition. Divinity: Original Sin, though, is a delightful game. And yeah, I would have to have the right collab partner. That's really what Divinity would need, is the right person to play alongside it with, because like, I'm not just going to sit down and play it solo. That's the entire point of the game, is to have two people playing it together. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying. My feet are cold. Do I have socks down here? I do not. I do not have socks. I regret to inform you that I am sockless. Please send my condolences to anybody. Send me socks. Obnoxiously number crunchy? Eee. There's some games... Gosh. I've played several games that were extraordinarily number crunchy. I've been playing a lot of Monster Train lately, which is not related to this, just looking at my Steam list. And I've actually been putting in some of the Monster Train mods, and they're a lot of fun. How about Fallout 3? I'm just thinking if I would ever play Fallout 3 again. I played New Vegas in a heartbeat, but I'm waiting on the system mod that's someone's making Fallout New Vegas in the Fallout 4 engine. How's that coming along, anyways? Fallout 4 New Vegas. I don't know. But then I will play that in a heartbeat, because I would adore that. As far as Fallout 3, I just don't think it's that good of a game, you know? Same with Fallout 4. Fallout 4, I played Fallout 4 in VR, and it was cool to have the experience in VR. It was cool to actually look around the city and the world in VR. It was cool to actually talk to the NPCs face to face in VR. I liked that. But the game itself was not amazing, and being able to play Fallout New Vegas in VR would be amazing. Fallout 4, you'd argue, is a good game, but not a good Fallout. Actually, that's a fair assessment. I'll accept that. Yeah, actually, yeah. You know what? Yeah, I'll accept that. I think that's a good answer. Fallout 4 is a good game, but not a good Fallout game. I accept that. If you just take it as a faction-based shooter, and exploration RPG stuff with crafting systems, yeah, I see where you're coming from. I can see where you're coming from, but it's not a good Fallout game. The good Fallout games are 1, 2, and New Vegas. Okay-ish city building, yeah. Amazing weapon customization, true. A mid-story, yeah. Bad connection between the mainline series. They also slaughtered the Brotherhood. One of the core things of Fallout is that everyone's bad. There's no good guys in Fallout. Like, everyone points to the Brotherhood of Steel, and like Fallout 3 and 4 both did that and said, look at the Brotherhood of Steel, they're fantastic, they're wonderful, they're kind, they're supportive, they're gonna fix the world. Like, no! The point of the Brotherhood is that they are xenophobic jerks who are hoarding technology without ever intending to actually bring them to the world. And Bethesda, I know why Bethesda's bad at the Brotherhood, is because Bethesda wants the Brotherhood to be right. Bethesda wants the Brotherhood of Steel to be correct. And that's why they force them to be the good guys. But, like, they're not the good guys. None of them are the good guys. The cons aren't the good guys. They're huge jerks. The New California Republic, the NCR, aren't the good guys because they don't know how to manage an actual empire. They're sprawling out, and the sheer fact that they rely on you for so many things in the game is, you know, an indication of how they are incapable of actually managing their supply lines. And several times they screw over people to help other people because it'll give them more clout. NCR is just like the US. Yeah, I see what you're going for there. And, like, they're not the good guys. And, like, the Caesar's Legion aren't the good guys because, you know, they're evil. But they do actually have a solid infrastructure and supply lines. Like, they actually have the best functioning, sprawling society. They're just cruel and evil because, you know, fascists. Like, they're making you know, things run on time, but they're also creating a situation where a lot of people feel uncomfortable or are slaughtered because they don't fall in line with the views of the state. Like, they're all unique factions in Fallout New Vegas, and that's what makes it good. And then Fallout 4 comes along and says, this is the good guys. You can join this group if you want to be evil. You can join this group if you want to be a good guy. And it's like, why? Why not just make an interesting development between both of them? Why not make the world more interesting at a baseline level? By not having a dedicated good guy. By recognizing that everybody is flawed, and you have to choose which group you want to go with of all the flawed options, and figure out which flawed option you think is going to best represent yourself. That's what makes Fallout interesting. Is this gonna work better if I put this up here? Let me try something. Is this gonna track better? Might need to be recalibrated, but I actually think this might track better from here. Hold on, let me recalibrate this. Can I recalibrate this live? Are people gonna be mad at me if I can recalibrate this live? So this is here. So I need... Ah! Okay, That's better. And then this is... How do I separate them? Can I separate them? Let's see if this track's better. Power armor in 4 is well done. It is... But keep in mind, power armor is something you're supposed to have to train in. It's fine because... Look, Fallout 4 had my least favorite experience in a Fallout game. And I'll tell you what it is. Fallout 4 had the worst experience, and it's because one of the very early missions, they give you a suit of power armor and a minigun and take down a Deathclaw. And I despised that, because that's the end game. That's what you build towards. And giving the player that experience in the first hour of gameplay feels wretched to me. It feels like they took Fallout and just offered it to you. Just, here, this is the end game experience. You don't worry about getting there. Don't worry about building up your character until they're interesting. There we go. Don't worry about building up your character until they're interesting. Don't worry about playing an RPG. Don't worry about actually making an RPG. Don't worry about that. This isn't about being an RPG. Just action game yourself into a suit of power armor, action game yourself into fighting a Deathclaw, and, you know, have some gamer fuel. Like, or whatever that stuff is. Like, you can't make an interesting character in Fallout 4. Yeah, it's true. It's sad, but it's true. All the characters are... yeah. And I don't actually hate having the character voiced, but I despise having the character voiced. Fallout 4 is a decent Mass Effect game, at least. How's that for a hot take? Fallout 4 is a decent Mass Effect game. You feel fatigued by Fallouts? It's in the 50s lol aesthetic? I do like that aesthetic, though. It's a fun aesthetic. I don't mind it. But, yeah, Fallout 4 is a good Mass Effect game. I'm going to go with that answer. Incredibly damning. Damning with the faintest of praise, eh? Yeah. You hate the false choices that Fallout 4 gave? Yeah. Most of the time, choices do nothing. Exactly. And that's why Fallout New Vegas is so good. That's why everybody loves Fallout New Vegas. That's why Fallout New Vegas is what it is. And I don't know that I trust the next Elder Scrolls game for that same reason. You see where I'm coming from, right? That's why I don't know if I trust the next Elder Scrolls game to be doing the same thing. Because the next Elder Scrolls game is going to be made by the team that made Fallout 4, right? Not even bugginess. Fallout New Vegas is surprisingly popular with LGBT people. Yes, and trans people in specific, because it's a game that actually lets you make choices. That's why, Tuzzy, is because it's a game that actually lets you make choices, decide how you're going to be playing the game, how you're going to be moving forward in it, and those choices are actually meaningful. That's what we want. That's what, you know, a lot of just not only LGBT people, but that's what like just people, gamers in general, are looking for, is a game that respects us as players. You know? Based in choice-pilled gameplay, true though. And while I do... You know I love JRPGs. While I love JRPGs, while I do love that genre, if I'm playing a Western RPG, I want to be in control. I want my choices to actually make a difference. I want the game to respect the choices that I want to make and actually make them meaningful. And Fallout New Vegas does that. And Fallout 4 doesn't. Fallout 4, again, it's a Mass Effect game. You follow a plot line, you do the quests for that faction, you finish the game and get an ending, and then you make a new character and try another one of the plot lines. It's like Fable or Mass Effect, or what's another example of that? It's not like a Fallout game. Because in a Fallout game, everybody in the world's making different choices. And honestly, that was also kind of less so, I guess, than this, but it was kind of true in the difference between Oblivion and Skyrim. Oblivion's... I like Oblivion better. Looking back at it, there was a lot of flaws. I'm not saying Oblivion was a perfect game the way New Vegas was, but I liked the world in Oblivion. Especially Shivering Isles. Shivering Isles is the best expansion for any RPG ever. Full stop. Shivering Isles is phenomenal. And I want to play Oblivion in the Skyrim engine so that I can play it in VR, because I want to walk in those worlds in VR. They managed to make the Institute as cartoonishly evil as the Enclave, but also boring. It's true. It's true, though. Like, they are as evil as it's possible to be. But not in an interesting way. Like, the premise is cool. They also managed to take a really interesting premise and just throw it away. Like, hey, let's get a really cool idea. Nice. Let's just throw the premise away and just, you know, okay, fine. Oblivion set the standard for both good and bad DLC. Look, mock horse armor is all you want, but like that's standard now, you know? If I played Knights of the Old Republic, that would be a really good one for the channel. I'm writing that down. No, I have not. That would be a really good one for the channel. You know the compelling plot hook of the lead intrigue in an enriching story? Nah. Let's just have you shoot some more... Let's have you shoot some more Geth, I mean synths. You need more old world blues? I just want to explore new worlds. I want another Breath of the Wild... I want another Zelda game that's like Breath of the Wild that doesn't use the same map. I want another Breath of the Wild that completely doesn't have the Breath of the Wild map anymore, you know? Just like, they've never cared about continuity in the past. The idea of Zelda continuity is a farce from top to bottom. If you want JRPGs that are hot messes that are more interesting than good, play Star Ocean. Yeah, that's fair, that's fair. I can see that could be interesting. A game where you play as a warlock and have to choose the patron that seems the least bad. Huh. Yeah. Star Ocean 2 Remake. Ah. Maybe I'll get in on that. Seventh Saga? You know, I've always seen Seventh Saga because it's always like at the top of gaming lists because it starts with a number back in the day. But I never played it. Pick you as your warlock patron? No, pick me. I'll be your patron. Come on, it'll be great. I only require occasional blood sacrifices. It's really not that bad, you know? Seventh Saga was unplayable. I never actually looked into it. Inido was a JRPG mixed with city building with bad stat balance. Huh. Weird. You have plenty of blood, are you particular about the source? Nah, no, it's fine. I mean, if you have it, if it's in your possession, it's your blood. I mean, as far as I'm concerned, that counts. Like, that's yours. You own that blood. So, yeah, go for it. It's fine. Let's see. What else could I do that's fun? There's a patch to fix it? Oh, that could be good. I could also play Metal Gear Rising Revengeance, assuming that you didn't all just watch Pomu play it. Let's be honest, everybody, you should have watched it. I could stream it, it'd be funny, but let's be honest, you should probably just watch Pomu's playthrough. It's gonna be better. I accept that. I know my fate. I know my place. You know what game disappointed me? Troubleshooter. That game had a lot of potential, but it just sort of went really crunch heavy in between missions for no real payoff or no real value. And I felt like I had to engage in that. I felt like I had to do the between missions things that were annoying and that were kind of going nowhere. Which is a shame because the actual gameplay in the mission was a lot of fun. It was sort of like a Valorant version of XCOM. With the way it handled the abilities, which you could argue is the same thing, the way Chimera Squad handled it, but I love Chimera Squad, so that's not a bad thing in my book. Yeah, my tracking looks good. Okay. I'm checking tracking. Ah! Try a pacifist run of any of the Metal Gear Solid games? That could be interesting, yeah. I did pacifist for all the Dishonored games, and I loved it. I've also did pacifist... What else have I done clean hands for? I've done clean hands... Hold on a second here. I did pacifist. I did still a clean hands run of Dishonored 2. I did clean hands in Dishonored 1 in all the Dishonored games. I did clean hands in Mark of the Ninja. That was a fun one to do clean hands in. Really, Mark of the Ninja is low-key a really good game, by the way. Genuinely, it's a good game. Pacifist Metal Gear Solid 5? Huh. Do an incredibly violent run of all the Dishonored games? If more people were enjoying them, I would. I would play more Dishonored if more people were enjoying it. I would love for people to care, but they don't, so I'd rather play games that people are actively interested in. I might play that, but I'll not do it on my own time, you know? Oh yeah, did we do... I guess we didn't kill anybody in Prey. I mean, we didn't, you know... We didn't kill any humans in Prey, did we? Yeah, we didn't. We didn't kill any humans when we played through Prey. We also could play Mooncrash, and October is going to be a scary, spooky month, because I have Mooncrash, the Prey DLC, and we have PT. Like, I actually have... it's actually from someone in chat right now, but I actually have PT on hardware, original hardware, not emulated. Like just yeah, I have access to PT, which is really rare and difficult to acquire. So that's gonna be fun. But between that and Mooncrash and Enigmatis, I'm looking forward to doing all that jazz. What if Persona 6 was set in the States as opposed to Japan? That would be interesting, actually. That's the Super Spook game? Which one? PT? I'm terrified. I don't know if I'll enjoy it, honestly. You know how I am with spooky games. I don't do fantastic with them. I also do have Stray, but that was also getting really saturated when it came out, so I didn't play it either. Nothing against it. I think Stray is going to be an amazing game to play, and it might even be a fun game to stream, but... How tall am I? I am 101 centimeters. It's true. And also, hello, Weaselry. How are you doing? I would probably enjoy Oxenfree? What is that? Oxenfree. Let me look that up. I'm looking... it's not there. Cool art style. Story-rich, choices matter, atmospheric, mystery, female protagonist, indie game. I will actually add that to wishlist. That sounds interesting. Good night, Risky. Meow, 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 meow. So. Earthbound and Titanfall are both on deck, followed likely by Triangle Strategy, and then probably Sekiro will follow it in the action slot, unless we decide to go into something else like Witcher or I don't know, Dark Messiah of Might and Magic. No one would watch that. No one would watch me play that. No one would watch me play Dark Messiah of Might and Magic. I would be like, yo, check out this game, and everyone would be like, Jade, no. Back into the hole. No. Jade, back into the hole, we're gonna put the rock on top, and you just stay here until you make better choices about games. And I'll be like, no, I don't wanna. That's how it'll happen. Again. Sekiro is the game with the guy, right? Sekiro is the yeah. Sekiro is the Souls game that takes place in Japan. It's the Dark Souls game that takes place with a samurai where you only have one weapon. Where they made a Dark Souls game that was not actually a Dark Souls game, but actually just a linear mission-based sort of setting that was supposed to be very good. That I played a little of, and well, I made mistakes. I made life choices that didn't really conduce me to play the game and enjoy it. It's a parrying game, and I love parrying. I love, parrying in Souls games. What turned me off was the stealth. What turned me off Sekiro, and this is true, is that the stealth was too good. That's right. The stealth mechanics in Sekiro were good, and that was the problem. You see, because I played Sekiro a little bit, a couple hours into it. I got a couple bosses in, and the game was like, yes, sneak around in the shadows, be in the dark, tall grass. You've got this. It's gonna be great. You can one-hit kill enemies. Yeah, you having fun? I'm like, yes, I'm having fun. I adore this. This is a stealth Souls game. I've always wanted this, but I was always too afraid to ask for it. This is perfect. This is exactly what I'm looking for. And the game was like, yes. And now, fight a boss. And I was like, wait, what? Fight a boss? But I don't know the mechanics. I've only been walking around and stealthing. I don't know how to fight things. I've done no fighting. I've walked up behind people and hit R1 to one-hit kill them. I've actually fought like 3 enemies in the entire time playing the game. And then they put me up against a boss, and it was just like, I don't know how to fight this boss. I don't know how this game works. Like, I just genuinely didn't know how the game works. I just genuinely didn't know how to fight the boss. There you go. Because the game isn't actually a stealth game. It pretends it's a stealth game to lure you in. And then it says, no. You're not allowed to play this as a stealth game. Why? You thought this was a stealth game? What the heck? And, sorry, I'm just fixing my tracking. And I was so sad. I was the saddest kobold in the world. It was the worst experience because the boss was not easy. I beat it. I beat the boss. But like... Ugh, there we go. There we go. I beat 3 bosses in there. I beat 3 bosses in Sekiro. There was a dude on a horse, which was... No, 4. I actually beat 4 bosses. There was a dude on a horseback, which was just absolute shenanigans. It was kind of fun with, the way it handled out. It was kind of fun the way it handled out everything. But it was rough and had nothing to do with the game I was enjoying. It didn't have anything to do with the game that I was playing, which was a stealth-based game. I played, there was a boss that was just a big dude that breathed fire at me. It's like, oh, okay. Fine, big dude breathes fire. there was a woman who was fast and threw a whole bunch of shuriken and stood on tight ropes, and that was a hard boss. And it's like, I don't know how to fight things. I don't know the controls. It took me hours to beat her. Like, I beat her, but like, that was like the third boss in the game, and I have no idea how you're expected to like get there. And then they fought me against a giant bull, and like a giant bull is like, I can't even parry this thing. It's bigger than half the screen. It's like, it takes place up. Yeah, it takes up like a quarter of the size of the arena. And then I beat the bull. And then I got into a section where I couldn't stealth. I got into a section where enemies could see me from halfway across the map and I couldn't stealth. And it's like, I don't care anymore. I'm done. And I pulled the plug on the game. And now I think I would go back to it and play it better and enjoy it more because I've played Elden Ring, because I know I'm going to go into it knowing what to expect. But initially, when I first played it, I just didn't have a good experience with it because it wasn't the game that I wanted to play. And I have had other situations with the same thing where I've played good games that I didn't enjoy because they weren't games that I was going to enjoy, you know? One of the most noteworthy there was BioShock. BioShock, I hated when I played it. Because I played System Shock 2. I liked System Shock 2. System Shock 2, very good game. 10 out of 10, do recommend. I loved System Shock 2. And it was a horror game. It's one of the few horror games that I fully endorse and that genuinely love. And it was hard. And it was... You had to count your ammunition. You had to be as like stingy with your ammunition as possible so that you had enough to get into there. Not BioShock Infinite, just BioShock. And then I got to the point in BioShock where I could just farm Big Daddies for loots. And it's like, this is not a horror game. This is not a stealth game. This is not a sneak around and hide because I don't want to have to use resources to fight enemies because I don't know how much resources I'll have. This is just a straight up action game. I'm just running at enemies, throwing plasmids at their face, and then... Is it plasmids in that game? I think it's plasmids. Throwing energy balls in their face and then shooting them with guns. And it's like, I played through the first half of the game hiding in a corner, you know, using only my pistol in case I needed my bigger weapons for fighting enemies later on. And that's just not what the game is. And I was playing against the intent of the game. The first Big Daddy was the best, and it was all downhill. It kind of was, for me at least. And I've done multiple streams on where I reference slow time events. I will make an actual proper video essay about it sometime, but like... Hacking things in Deus Ex and System Shock 2 are scary events. You are trying to hack these systems, and you are looking around and being like, oh, ooh, is anyone behind me? Oh, do I have time to hack this before someone shows up? And, like, the hacking minigame takes up your screen, but you are still in the world, and someone might still sneak up on you, you know? Like, you need to be careful that you're safe enough to be able to hack things. What? Except that that's not how it is in BioShock. You can jump into the air, hack a camera, and then land on the ground after you hack the camera. Like, legit, that's how hacking works. You can jump up in the air, spend 20 minutes hacking a camera, and then you exit the screen and you land back on the ground. It's like, this goes against the entire point of hacking. The entire point of hacking is that you are going into the cameras while trying to exist in the world, and the world is hostile to you. You're in danger when you're hacking. Hacking is supposed to be threats. And in that game, it's just like, nah, bruh, don't worry about it. It's like, it's an action game. It's an action game. And if I played it as an action game, I would enjoy it. It's also really... The philosophy is really boring. It's baby's first and, right? Like, it's really, really sophomoric. Like, this is, I am in high school and have never actually taken a philosophy course, and this is deep and penetrating, and this is I'm going to become a libertarian after playing this game. It's like, no, my dude. A, this is a critique of that. B, it's just not interesting philosophy the way it's presented. And it's presented, and like everybody, don't even pretend. You are probably people who are, you know, like some of you at least, will have been people who thought it was deep. The whole, what is it? A man chooses, a slave obeys things. It's like, no, it's not really that deep. It's not that interesting. BioShock 2 fixed that. I never picked up 2. BioShock Infinite is miles worse on philosophical. Oh boy. Yo, but what if I play BioShock Infinite and just critique the philosophy of the game the entire time? What if I play BioShock Infinite and just pause the game and talk about philosophical, philosophical determinism and how it applies into the game's world every few minutes? That would just be the worst stream. No one would like that. It would be great. It would just be absolutely wretched, and nobody would enjoy it. I'm in. I think that would be great for me. I think that's a good choice for the channel. I think that's a good stream. I think I'm gonna do that. BioShock Infinite is execrable philosophy, but has some incredibly good time travel writing. Oh, I do like. I mean, I hate time travel writing when it's bad, but it's very rare. You would unironically love that. You know, if you want some philosophical talk, honestly, go into my archives and watch The First Tree. I actually broke down crying during that game. That was a really good philosophical game. Or one of my staples used to be what was it? I don't know. Dang it. The Lion Song, yeah. The Lion Song was a really good series that I did a long time ago that was beautifully done and had some excellent philosophical discussion in it. And yeah, old model, so you have to deal with that, but that had some really nice moments. And yeah, it's supposed to subvert Ayn Rand and show the breakdown of that philosophy, but it also, like, made the philosophy look really cool and interesting, you know? It's one of those things where people are like, oh, you know, the dark side in Star Wars is evil. But isn't it really cool? Aren't they, like, the uniforms kind of badass? Don't you kind of think, like, that Darth Vader is really, really cool? I mean, obviously, yes, fascism is bad, but wouldn't it be kind of neat? And it's like, buddy, no, you don't. Why are you doing this in this way? Why are you making, you know? Why are you going out of your way to make fascism look cool? Stop. Brr. Let me see here. BioShock forgets that most libertarians are first and foremost boring. True, though, actually. Like, yeah, I mean, yeah. It's the libertarian ideas where they think that they're centrists, but when they're not, you know. It's like, no, you're not. Just because you don't like either of the major parties, doesn't mean that you make you into a centrist. Anyways, you think Vader is the queen piece in one of the chess games? I think so. Yeah, you're right. Yeah, it is the Star Wars chess game. Enlightened centrism. Look, we're not going to get deep into philosophy, and we're not going to get deep into political philosophy until I play Disco Elysium. Okay, that's the deal. No politics on the channel until I play Disco Elysium. Then all bets are off. But until then, no politics. But when I play Disco Elysium, I mean... Everything will collapse when I play it. Oh, heck yeah, it'll be fantastic. I'll either become much more popular or everyone will abandon me. It'll be fantastic. Hmm. Let me check something here. Okay, sorry. Hi, yes. It's insane to me that the dream at the end of the game is so missable. Disco Elysium is one of the best games ever made. It is. Disco Elysium is a phenomenal game. I highly recommend it. And I genuinely do want to play it, but it is inextricably a political game. You can choose your politics, you can choose your path into it, but you can't play the game and not consider the politics of the world. It's impossible. To play that game apolitically is itself a political choice. And I love the idea that they take centrism as not a lack of choosing of the other sides, of something that is in the middle, because centrism is not a middle ground. They actually intentionally declare it as a specific pathway. Hello, Ramon. Welcome. And I really do want to play the game, but I mean, you all know me. You all know where I lean. You know where I stand on a bunch of stuff. You know, I am very much, you know, you know where I am on these issues. But at the same time, like, I don't try not to go too deep into it because I want to cast a wider net. I don't want to be alienating to people who don't share my views because, well, you don't have to agree with me. You don't have to be on the same page. But like, I don't want to also push it. Like, I don't want. Politics are never going to be a part of the channel, right? Politics are never going to be a big part of the channel, but I want to play Disco Elysium because it's such a good game, and I want people to experience it, and I think people would genuinely enjoy my takes on it, frankly. If you've been with me for a hot minute, then you know where my takes are in that stance. Jade for president, let's go! My first act as president would be to dismantle the institution of the presidency. Yes. Jade for Jade for TV game. I'm okay. Yay, I'm gay. I'm okay. Yeah, the first thing I would do as a monarch is unravel the institution of the monarchy. Now that would be my first order of business. Jade for Prime Minister, is it then? But yeah, it's one of those things where it's like, that'd be fun, but at the same time, like, I don't know if that's, I don't know, based in Jade Pill true though, I guess. I don't understand. What does that mean? It's, okay. I really want to play Ghost of Tsushima, honestly. I do think that would be a lot of fun. But I would have to buy it. I have the PS4. I could, have something I could play it on, but like, it costs money. I could also talk a lot about the martial arts in that game, because I think some of you know I am a third degree black belt in martial arts, in Bujinkan Budo Taijutsu specifically. So like, I could actually talk in a genuine and interesting manner. You think I have Ghost of Tsushima on that PS4? Wait, really? Well, heck, I know what I'm doing after Titanfall then. If that's true, then heck yeah, I will whirlwind slam that. I have a lot of interesting things to say because, well, I actually do have the experience. And Negutier is absolutely correct. Politics are important, especially to me, because, you know, like, there are decisions that are decide whether or not I have human rights. You know, my ability to have human rights are currently up for discussion in politics. So I have opinions, but like, I want this channel to be a space where people don't have to engage in politics. I want this channel to be a space where people don't have to worry about that for their own mental health. And exactly, you're exactly spot on correct. Same with the Discord. In the Discord, we have an entire category for crumbling infrastructure, where we talk about Twitter falling apart, or the world, like shattering, or just like really bad infrastructure choices, like rebuilding, building up ramps on roads that don't go to nowhere, just the whole one more lane bro sort of mentality. But that's all kept to general things. There's no specific political discussion there, and it's just gonna stay that way. I don't want there to be political discussion. I don't want to be this channel to be about politics. But but the world, like. That's basically what it boils down to. But the world, though. I have a game hostess voice? Neat! I'm not sure exactly what that means, but I'm happy for it. I don't know. What does it mean to have a game hostess voice? I actually don't know. I like my voice. I'm really proud of my voice. I've put a lot of work into my voice. I've earned this voice. So I'm happy with it. I'm happy with myself. Like, just in general, I'm happy with who I am. You're very attractive. Aw, thank you. There we go. Ba-da-ba-ba-ba. Can I do the transatlantic accent? Oh, geez, can I do that? I'm not good with accents. I can do a lot of different voices. Sorry, just doing some back-end stuff while I'm chatting with you. But accents I've never been really great with for recent times. I used to be better. I used to have a fantastic accent for a medieval European accent. It was so good that after a show, I would get compliments on my accent all the time when I was working that show. It was great. But one in particular is the most proud moment of my career as an actress. After a show, a family came up to me and they said, "Hey, you did a great job out there, blah, 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 etc. I love your accent. We're from Sussex. Where in England are you from?" They didn't ask me if I was British. They didn't ask me if I was from England. They were from England themselves and were asking where in England I was from for my accent. Because they recognized it and they weren't sure if it was the right borough, if it was, where I was from. Most proud moment of my life. I had to tell them that, no, I actually, this is just, my accent. But that was just an old-timey medieval English accent, but I was really, really proud of that, because, wonderful. But, transatlantic. How do you do the transatlantic accent? Where is it? Transatlantic! Wait, no, that's a, how do I do transatlantic? Where is the transatlantic accent? I gotta hear it. I gotta hear it for me to be able to do anything with it.
Don't tell me you've forsaken your beloved whiskey and whiskies.
Harriet Brown, of course. I suppose I'll have to see her.
Against the
I suppose
rules
I'll have
of
to
the
see
house
it.
to discuss the classics?
Must I
We
go
can
back
discuss
to
the
them?
classics
Shall
together.
I stay here?
Can I stay here? If he comes, I shall retire to the bed.
I do.
I do mean that. I do mean that. I do. Is it just sort of like that? Is it just sort of a bit airy? I don't know. There's a whole thing to it. I don't know. I would have to spend some time finding it. I don't do good accents. I can do good voices. I can do the deeper voice. I can do the adventurous voice. I can go into I can go into a little bit of a gremlin voice. I can do different voices. The voice I use normally is just my voice. This is just how I am. But I'm not. I need to figure out accents. I need to improve at it. I just need practice at it. When I was doing vocal training, it was more about pitch things. That's about my upper limit. That's about where I can. I don't know. That's about as high as my voice goes, and then I can go low. Oh, that's no warm up though. That's a quick range check there. Oh, somewhere around there is my low ramp mark. I don't know. I would have. That's no warm ups again. That's not really doing anything other than just setting up for a chat stream, which I don't really do any warm ups for. So I don't know what I am doing. I'm just me. I should do. That's what I ought to do. Oh, I know what I should do. I should do another vocal agility training session and record it. As you can clearly see, the calibrations are correct. We need to recalibrate for the coefficient of relativity before it's too late. I know I'm not supposed. I know you're supposed to get 3 wishes, but I'm not in the mood to give you 3. I can offer you 2 wishes tops, and one of them better be easy. Oh, hello, friend. I'm glad you can make it. I made you some cookies, but I got hungry and I ate the cookies. But it's the thought that counts, right? Don't worry. I'm here to save you. Oh, what have they done to you? I'll get you out of here. You can count on me. I don't know. The vocal agility is the ability to switch between those voices rapidly. I should actually do proper warm-ups, proper setups, and then record all of that as a video. That'd be fun. In summary, like the video for Matt. Yeah, it was the old accent made up on the video for old-time fidelity, and it was a very wonderful accent, and no one actually speaks that way, but they made up that accent for people to speak because they wanted a bit of it to be universal. They wanted the accent to be universal and be heard all around the world, not because it was used in a specific place, but they knew that if you use a California accent, then everyone's going to recognize your California accent. And if you use a New York accent, everyone's going to recognize your New York accent. And if you use a British accent, everyone's going to recognize that you have a British accent. So they wanted to make a new accent that was not based in reality, but would also pick up really nicely on the old-fashioned microphones. So they made the transatlantic accent as a unique accent just for cinema, and I must say that the cinema experience was a delight, and it was a good accent, and I think that it should be brought back in some places. I think there's space for it. I do think that there is space for it. That's not really a good example of it, is it? That was actually all terrible. I would like to formally apologize for the last 90 seconds of this stream. I hope that you'll find it in your heart to forgive me. It was not great. Do not patronize me with that. That was not good. That was absolutely wretched. That was a shameful level of it. Oh my goodness, what have I done? What have I done? What has chat made me do? Sorry. Oh no, I've been booped. Apology not accepted. You enjoyed it. How dare you enjoy it? Have I considered consuming a large amount of the spice melange? I mean, yes? Who hasn't? I want to see space. The funny thing is that I tried reading Dune, but it was too dry, and that sounds like a meme. It sounds like a joke, but it's true. The writing is incredibly dry. It's slow, it's droll, and nothing interesting happens for several pages at a time, and it sounds like a meme to say that Dune is dry because it's a joke and you get it, but it's also true because the book is kind of really rough in that. The movie was good. I've only seen the one with Sting. I haven't seen the new one yet. I've heard it's good. I'd like to watch it, but I just haven't. Maybe we should do that for community night. We need a new community night person because Sari hasn't been around for some reason. And yeah, we need a new community night person to help manage that because I can't manage community night in addition to everything else. Have you ever seen The Dark Crystal? I saw it a long time ago. It's been a long time. Community night? Yeah, every once in a while on the Discord server, we do a community night where we watch a movie or we watch some anime or we just pick up a dumb TV show and watch a few episodes or random YouTube videos like Not Just Bikes or stuff like that. So, yeah, we do have community nights on the Discord. We used to have them like once or twice a week, but the person who was managing it left for personal issues, and nobody else has picked it up. Not Just Bikes is very, very, very good. We have a role for it on the Discord. You can just join the role in the Mountain Pass section if you want to be pinged when there's community nights. Assuming we start doing them again. We will, and I still just show up there and start streaming things a couple nights a week because it's me, you know, it's what I do. I just show up and start streaming like Hearthstone videos or like grinding content in Final Fantasy V, and it's just like, I'm just gonna hop on and see if anyone joins me, and then eventually a bunch of people join me, and it's fun. It's good times. The Discord's a delight. I love my Discord. Link's in the description, but the Discord is just an absolutely wonderful place. It's just comfy and heartwarming. It's uplifting, I guess is the best way of putting it. Also, you should like the video. Or not. I don't know. Follow your heart, but I would encourage you to like the video if you want to like the video, but you don't have to. You would love arriving there sometimes. Good, good, good. Meow. Meow, meow, meow. Yo, we hit 22 likes. Hype. Yeah, I love how YouTube lists me as having 11 concurrent viewers and, you know, 22 likes. And it's like, yeah, I know there's more people than 11 here. I can see more than 11 people active in chat. What is my favorite anime now? There's a question that I love to answer because my favorite anime is an indie art house anime that most people haven't heard of, and it's phenomenal. It's called The Time of Eve, and it is a short, about 2-hour long anime that is just incredibly well written, incredibly well made, beautiful visuals. It takes place in Japan, in the world of Isaac Asimov's robot stories. It's an Isaac Asimov world where androids are second-class citizens and only allowed to exist in certain spheres, but are also very clearly beginning to gain sentience. And there's a restaurant where, at this restaurant, there is no distinction between android and human. And it's just a delightful experience to see, because some people go there and you don't know if they're android or human. You just genuinely do not know when they're legally required to have symbols to show you that they are androids whenever they're outside of their master's home, because they are, you know, robots and seen as not alive. But inside this place where they're allowed to just live as if there's no distinction, some of them are very obvious and some of them are very not. And there's a lot of trans allegories. There's a lot of second-class citizenry allegories to, like, you know, people who are not indigenous to a local area who are being persecuted against. And there's a lot of really good writing in it, frankly. Best anime, my favorite anime. I don't know if it's the best anime I've seen, but it's definitely my favorite. You want anime with lizard folk? There's good lizard folk representation in That Time I Got Reincarnated as a Slime, which is a fantastic anime. Genuinely do really like that one too. I need to rewatch it. Actually, we should do that for a community night. That would be a really good community night anime. Picked up Mushishi. Mushishi is very good. I enjoyed that. Yeah, Mushishi is a very good anime as well. It's very philosophical and it's very Shinto. Like you need to, you need to actually understand the thought process behind Shinto religion, not just understand the tenets and the beliefs, but actually understand the philosophy of it to get deep into there. And it's good if you're willing to put the time and commit the effort into it, learning, you know, a new culture. Mushishi is a payoff. It's a reward for doing so, if you will. You have the power of lizard folk with you. Good. Yeah, not a lot of really good lizard folk in anime that I can think of offhand, which is a shame. But yeah, Time of Eve. Go look it up. I think it's on Crunchyroll right now. Is it on Crunchyroll right now? It might be on Crunchyroll right now. I don't know if it's on Crunchyroll right now. I'm gonna look it up for you. Eve no Jikan. Yes, it is. It's currently, looks like it is on Crunchyroll. Just watch the movie. The movie incorporates all the episodes and has better production quality. Oh no, it's not on Crunchyroll. The movie isn't. But the series is. But yeah, go watch that for sure. 10 out of 10. Do recommend. I do have a lot of anime opinions. Another one I want to rewatch on the for community nights is Ascension of a Bookworm. The Ascension of a Bookworm is a really good, comfy anime. Yeah. I've lately I watched I rewatched Konosuba lately, which is great. But I watched a anime where the plot point is that the main characters has a special power when they go into another world. And their power is that they have access to their local supermarket's online store. That's it. That's it. They have access to their local supermarket and they can order things and just have it delivered to them in their isekai world. And he becomes a chef and just starts cooking with, you know, a combination of monster ingredients and actual, you know, and like food from back home. He would occasionally, you know, buy a beer and crack it open, but he'll also like use it for smart things like buying salt and selling high grade refined salt, which is worth more than its weight in gold when he needs income. When he as a way of getting passive income, he'll just buy, you know, like hair conditioner, you know, and like, here, give this to your wife, and then she'd use it and like, this is incredible, my hair's never felt this good ever, because that world doesn't have, you know, doesn't have conditioner. And things like that are very cool. I like the way that the series goes about it, mixing, you know, what we have as being strange and unique, while also just being like, yeah, you can cook monster meat, you can cook this giant snake. And the dude's like, okay, I'm gonna get some seasonings and spices from, you know, my world to cook the stuff from your world. It's not like highbrow. It's not like, you know, anime of the year. It's not like, you know, this is one of the best shows you'll ever see. But it's comfy. Just sit down, watch it, relax. It's a good time. It's just pleasant, you know? Dungeon Meshi is my favorite manga, hands down. That's actually a no contest there. And that's saying something for me as well. Dungeon Meshi is my favorite manga, and I recommend it, and I could not be more hype for the anime. Because Dungeon Meshi is getting an anime, and it's my favorite studio is making my favorite manga into an anime, and whew, I could not be more excited for it. It's Studio Trigger who did. They did BNA, which I think is, you know, a lot of furries would have probably seen. They did Little Witch Academia, which is one of my favorite things that they've done. They did. What was it? Kill la Kill? I think it is. I didn't really watch Kill la Kill. Here I am literally just Googling Trigger, forgetting that it's a word that means something other than an anime studio. I just straight up Google Trigger. Wait a minute, I should say Studio Trigger instead, because if I just type Trigger, then there's actually going to be... Tsubasa? Ah, Tsubasa-kun, yeah. But yeah, Kill la Kill is one of the ones they're most well known for, but Little Witch Academia is a delight. They did Darling in the Franxx, which wasn't made for me, right? That just wasn't me. There was them and Clover, but I think Clover was more in charge of that. Isn't Studio Trigger a lot of ex-Gainax people? Yeah, it is. It's more of a philosophical than, like, yeah, it's a lot of their old talent that left Gainax and joined that. So yeah, in short, yeah. It is. Delicious in Dungeon is going to be a delight, and I could not be more excited. They also did Promare. Go watch Promare. It's as good as it is gay, and it's very, very good. Promare is a very, very good. It is very, very gay as well. Now I want to go watch Promare again because I like it. Oh, they also did Edgerunners. That's right. They also did the Edgerunners anime, which is good. It's sad, but good. Like, I recommend Cyberpunk Edgerunners, but you need to go into it with the knowledge that it's going to be sad. Like, this is a tragedy, and you know from the first episode that there's only one way the series can end. And if you're on board for that, it is an emotionally powerful, beautiful piece of art that will keep you compelled and interested the entire time. But if you go into that expecting a happy ending where everything is sunflowers and joy, then, buddy. But if you go into it and just it's like Cowboy Bebop. You know, at the end of a couple episodes of Cowboy Bebop, there's only one way the series can end. You know the characters and who they are and what values they have and what they're going to do with it. And if you're on board with it, it's phenomenal. And if you're not, understandable. Don't hurt your mental health watching something that's going to give you pain. But there's only one way it could end. And if you want to experience something beautiful, then watch it. You know? Yeah, Cowboy Bebop could literally only end one way. Absolutely. There's no redemption. It could not happen, and it would break the character design apart if they tried to force it. And I've seen series that did. I've seen series that have been like, oh no, we can make a happy ending out of this, watch! And they just break the characters. And I don't mean break the characters as in, like, you know, the character is broken. I mean they actually fundamentally shatter what makes the character interesting and dynamic and force them to try to change. Yeah, Little Witch Academia is actually the opposite of that. It is very much cheerful and happy and has a very happy ending where everybody gets along, I think. But don't quote me on that. I don't... But Little Witch Academia is a delight. It's very cozy and comfy, and after making, like, the other stuff that they did, Little Witch Academia is a breath of fresh air. It's so sad that Faye finds self-destructive people to cling to, but, like, that's part of her damage, right? She wants to find these self-destructive people. That's how she's wired. It's a show where everyone needs therapy. I don't think that the cast of Cowboy Bebop Goes to Therapy is gonna make compelling cinema. Spike Spiegel has has Spike Spiegel has an emotional development. Sit down and watch 3 hours of crying. That's just the series finale, but still. I like anime. Nerd. It's true. I'm a nerd. I'm a huge nerd. I apologize for being a nerd. A 30-minute long therapy episode would not be enough. I've also seen a lot of obscure anime. Like, is Sayonara Zetsubou Sensei considered obscure these days? I think it might be. But I've also seen a lot of very obscure anime that I enjoy. Because again, it's like indie films, you know? Everyone's heard of Death Note. Not a lot of people have heard of Time of Eve. A lot of people have heard of Gurren Lagann, but a lot of people haven't heard of, I don't know, Kaichou wa Maid-sama, or like, I don't know. I like the more esoteric, I guess is a good word for it, you know? One of the ones that I've always loved is The Violinist of Hamelin. It's like it's just so weird and obscure, and no one's ever seen it. And I have one of the few copies of it that actually exists. But the fact that it does exist is exciting. You cry for the generation that doesn't know what Zoids are? I mean... yeah. When did Zoids come out? When was that? I don't know. I have no idea. You don't know what Zoids are? It was a show. Yo, shoutouts to Pirates of Dark Water, though. Every once in a while, I'll watch a show from my childhood that, like... And I'll usually regret it, right? Don't go back and watch Tiny Toon Adventures. It's not as good as you remember it. You know? Don't go back and watch, like, some of your old Saturday morning cartoons, because they're not as good as you remember. But I'm very pleased to say that I went back and watched, The Pirates of Dark Water, or at least a couple episodes of it, and it's like, it actually is still really good. Characterization and plot lines are actually pretty still compelling. Which is more than I could say for a lot of, 80s and 90s cartoons. Like, I mean, yeah, Animaniacs and Batman the Animated Series, obviously, they're incredible. And some of the weird ones, like Freakazoid, are just great, but like, there's a lot of shows from back then that are not as good as you would like to remember them being, and you will break your heart if you go back and watch them. BTAS goat? Wait. Oh, you mean Batman the Animated Series. Sorry, it took me way too long to parse that. That took me... You got to see it in real time. You got to see me parse that in real time. BTAS, Batman the Animated Series. Yes, absolutely. Fantastic. One of the greatest series shows of all times. But I can't see that and not think BTA. You understand, right? Like, you understand that. I can't see BTAS and not think BTA, the band. Like, I'm incapable. It's impossible. It's impossible! Yes, toyetic is absolutely a valid phrase. Gosh, now I want to go back and watch some bad 90s TV shows. Like, we need to... I don't know. I actually did an episode of the video game for James Bond Jr. Remember that? That thing was wretched. Angel Beats is a good sad anime? That's... Angel Beats. I've seen that one. Let me refresh my memory. Yeah. That is it. That is a sad one. Though, of course, obviously, think something like, you know... Not Chobits, but what's the other one? Clannad. Clannad is a good sad anime as well. Idea, you should watch Sonic Underground for terrible anime. We've been watching Sonic Boom in the Discord every once in a while. Maybe we'll do that tonight. But Sonic Boom is a phenomenal... One of your favorite kobolds, Jade? Oh, thank you. Hello, Rex2D2. Smissles. Smissles. But yeah, the original Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles is... It's not as good as you remember it being. It's just not. It's just not. Sonic Boom, however, phenomenal. Loved it. Like, go watch Sonic Boom right now. It's on Netflix. It's good. It's fantastic. It's the best Sonic media. I'm gonna say that. I'm gonna commit to it. Sonic Boom is the best Sonic media. Full stop. Full stop. They take the Sonic character design and make it look something, and actually make it look interesting and something that you can animate decently. The comedy is dumb. It's dumb, but it's unhinged dumb. It's fun dumb. It's a delight. I love it. It's so great. The best Knuckles in the entire series. Honestly, the best Amy Rose in the entire series, because she actually has a personality other than is girl. Let's be honest. Like, it's the best Sonic, in my opinion, because he has... It's easily the best Eggman. No contest. Eggman as someone who wants to kill you, but also somebody who's going to come over for... Like, Eggman has the Bowser mood of he's going to try to kill you and throw a bunch of robots at you, but he's also going to come over and borrow a cup of Parmesan for his lasagna because he needs some lasagna, and he's gonna, you know, and you're gonna say, oh, sure, fine, Eggman, because he's also the annoying neighbor. He's like part supervillain, but also part Newman from Seinfeld. Like, it's just such a good melding of actual villain and just a jerk who you have to spend time with. And I love it. Other than Sonic Boom, the other good Sonic one was the Saturday morning cartoon, the one that starts with a weird version of In the Halls of the Mountain King is the intro, the bad, not the edgy one, but the dumb one. Most people hated it, but I thought it was good. It was very Sonic in the style of Roadrunner. It was Sonic in the style of the old Roadrunner cartoons, and that was fun, in a non-consistent Hanna-Barbera sort of way. But Sonic Boom is actually a good show. Like, it's actually a really enjoyable show. Didn't it tell you about Stranger Danger? Was that one? No, I think... No, that one didn't... No, the Sonic PSA one was the other cartoon one. Hold on. Yeah, Sonic, Satam, S-A-T-A-M, was the edgy one that had, like, Verbo Sonic and a whole bunch of the other characters in it. I think it's Adventures. Let me check. I think, yeah. It's the Adventures of Sonic the Hedgehog. That's the one that is just channeling Wile E. Coyote. Like, it's infinitely corny, but also kind of great. Is that actually anywhere being shown? Yeah, Adventures of is exactly the one I'm thinking of. Where is it? Where is that? Where is it? Yo, it's actually on Netflix. Hype. Alright, we gotta watch it. We gotta watch it together. If you're not in the Discord, head over there. We'll watch it. I don't know, maybe not tonight, but we're watching that together, 100%. 100%. If I say my favorite Sonic game, then everyone's gonna be mad at me. I can't just say my favorite Sonic game, Captain Scaly. I'm sorry. But if I say... Because if I say it, everyone's gonna yell at me. Partially because I haven't even played it, but... But my favorite Sonic game is Freedom Planet. My favorite Sonic game is Freedom Planet. I will fight anybody on this, but I haven't played Freedom Planet, so I can't fight anybody on this. So that's completely like just a non-threat. I'm not going to fight you over this because I will fight you over this idea, but it's the idea of Freedom Planet that I like, not the actual game, because I haven't played the game. I don't really play a lot of Sonic games. I don't do a whole lot of Sonic media, I guess, other than like the TV shows. But yeah, best Sonic game is yeah, Freedom Planet. Fight me. You can fight me and you will win because I will simply cry and concede. That's my answer for that. I'll be right back. I love having running water. Fears unleashed? Fair enough. But yeah. I don't know, I have a strange relationship with Sonic. Yo, shoutouts to running water though. It's kinda great. So if people have more questions, I will answer them. Otherwise, we should probably start thinking about wrapping up because this has been a delight, and I will do more chat streams in the future because I like talking to you. Because you're nice, and I appreciate you. Sonic Heroes? Yeah, I never played a lot of Sonic games. I respect them, and I like Sonic in general, but like, I was never one of those people who was like super into Sonic the Hedgehog, you know? You've seen Plastic Memories? You know, I was gonna watch it, but then I didn't. I guess. Plastic Memories was a show that I just knew it was super sad, and it's like, I don't really want to watch that. Because it didn't feel like it was... I don't know. Plastic Memories is the kind of thing you have to be really in the mood to watch, and I just wasn't ever, so I just never watched it. You've played every Sonic game, and you've played Frontiers. Have you played Freedom Planet? Why am I cute? It's actually a really elaborate optical illusion that makes me appear cute, but it's actually just not true. You have well wishes? Yay! What are some other random obscure anime that I can shout out here? Yeah, shoutouts to Angelic Layer. Angelic Layer is an anime that really flew under a lot of people's radar despite actually being genuinely good. I guess that's not going to be one of my weird recommendations. I never played Sonic Frontiers. I know Luna's been playing it, one of my friends, and they say it's quite good. But I just never. Like, I know that it is a good game, but it's just not one that I've been playing. I respect it, though. Yeah, Angelic Layer is wildly good. It really is, and like, it's also really interesting representation for MS. Like, you don't see a lot of that type of disability representation, right? Usually, if you have a disability representation, it's one of the cinema-safe disabilities, you know? Whereas, like, having somebody who has a who has a disease that is causing slow damage to their body over time is not it's not the main character, but it's someone who's related to them. It's just like, wow, that's a really powerful representation, I think. I don't think they actually call it that in the show, but it's very clearly that. It's also a fighting anime, which is... It's also, yeah, it's a fighting tournament arc anime, and it works really well. Oh yeah, I have the Forgotten City. I should play that. Ippo is a good fighting... How'd you make Ippo? I'm very particular about my fighting anime, because there has to be a really good reason to fight, you know? There has to be a really good reason for a fighting anime to be a fighting anime, frankly. And a lot of them fall flat in that front. A lot of them have good combat sequences, but just don't actually have good narrative sequences, you know? They don't actually have interesting characters or plot lines other than is fight. Not all of them. There are ones out there like Angelic Layer that I'm talking about that, you know, have really good storylines attached with it that are a delight, but many of them aren't for me, and that's okay. You know, I have to acknowledge that there is anime that's not for me, right? Like, not everybody is going to like, you know, Princess Tutu. I don't think that's going to be a lot of people's top of lists, but it is for me. Like, for me, if I'm gonna watch fighting anime, I don't know. Hello, Magisev. You are in a strange prison of your own creation, locked into by your struggles of your past and your traumas, trying to find a way to survive in a capitalistic society that is trying to subvert you, while also trying to find outlets that will bring you joy and happiness. And I am proud to be one of those outlets that you have found today. Hi, are you happy now? Did it work? How many people did I just call out? Be honest. I think here's a question. Does One Punch Man count as a fighting anime? Because it kind of like has the framing. It's like how Resident Evil is an action game rather than a horror game, but it uses all the trappings of horror genre. Or is that not right anymore? Is that actually a horror game? I don't know. Maybe I don't have a good example there. But like, One Punch Man pretends to be a fighting anime, but it's really not. You know right out of the gate that it's not a fighting anime. I actually have no idea. Anyway, we're gonna wrap up here, I think. We'll do more anime chat in the future, probably. I don't know. I do know everything about anime, ever. Probably. Not really. I don't actually know that much, but I'm weird. Horror is both a genre and an aesthetic. That's true, and I guess that is what I'm trying to say for One Punch Man, because it's not really... It has the aesthetic of a shonen fighting anime, while actually not being one. But yeah, on that note, you're all wonderful and I love you. Thank you all for showing up. I will be doing more of this, but also look out for other series that I'm going to be playing in the future. again, coming up are going to be Titanfall and Mother 3 and Earthbound. And is that 2? Or is that 1? I don't know. I'm going to be playing Earthbound. Whatever game that is. What is Earthbound? I don't know. I'm going to find out. But, yeah. I hope you have a wonderful evening, friends. Like the video, subscribe if you haven't, and honestly, the best thing you can do for me, the best way that you can show your appreciation for me, is to share my channel with somebody. Because it's difficult to have YouTube promote me. YouTube only goes so far in actually getting me, you know, into people's faces. And if you could link my channel, or if you could make a clips of something that struck you as funny this episode, and then put it on Reddit or Blue Sky, or yeah, I made a Blue Sky account today, so that's kind of cool. Then I would appreciate that. That'd be cool. Earthbound is Mother 2. Is that where I'm starting? I don't know. It's going to be after my vacation. I'm going to vacation, and then I'm going to... If I don't die on vacation, then I'll come back and I'll keep streaming then. So I hope you have a wonderful evening, friends. Being a content creator is very hard these days. Yeah, I mean, I have an advantage because, you know, I have a degree in fine arts and acting, and I've, you know, been an actress for for several years. So like, I think I have a lot more advantage than a lot of people who are trying to become content creators. But like, at the same time, it's still hard because I'm pushing against the algorithm, and I'm still being shuffled in with all the other people who are just, you know, I don't know. You know, though. I am loving this, and I am happy. And that's what's important. Alright. Cheers, friends. And I hope you have a wonderful evening. Good night, and I love you.